It's been a little minute since I made a video on the RSX, um, and looks a little different from the last time I showed it. So I kind of just wanted to follow up on the YouTube page and kind of just show what I did. Obviously, I don't know if you could kind of see in the video that it's a whole different color. Um, and I'll just walk around, maybe talk about like the pros and cons of the rap because it is a rap. So it's not perfect, but you know, first time doing it. So I guess I'll just talk about how it went for me, um, show the flaws, and show where it looks the best. So I got this rap from Ravuni Rap. They were able to, help me out a bit. And to get this wrap, this is a glossy royal green, is what it's called. If you want this color, I'll try to, link it in the description. It was a process, and it was something that I was like back and forth on from paint and wrap. Um, so I went the wrap route just because it's like cheaper, obviously, than paint. Um, Paint is like OEM paint is super expensive, and but yeah, I bought paint before to do my side skirts because I always wanted to get into auto body, um, and I would still love to do that as a career, to be honest. But bought a few paint guns, sanders, bought the paint, the Nighthawk Black Pearl, because that's what this is under the wrap, and that alone was like $300, and it came out decent. It came out pretty good for like my first time painting, so I wasn't mad at it. But yeah, I wanted to do the whole car and was to do it this year, the whole car, but I think that's when my radiator cracked, and I think I spent like $800 on like the cooling system, which was a Koyorad. I got the Mishimoto fans. I bought an OEM thermostat because I had a cheap like Rock Auto one, so I wanted to go OEM with that because it was kind of messing with the temp. Um, so that all that together was like $800. Um, but but yeah, as far as the cons, I would say is like if it's your first time, it's not gonna be perfect. So unless like you really really try and you prep, like it's not gonna be perfect. If it's your first time and you don't care for perfection, you're just looking to switch it up a little bit, um, get something different out of your build. Um, it's not gonna be perfect. Like mine definitely isn't perfect. And I'll show exactly like where I messed up. Um, but con two, I'd probably say, depending on where you live, you might not have the space for it. Thankfully, I'm like fortunate enough to have like these two spots in the back of my like apartment, where I can work on, and my landlord doesn't really care. So yeah, if you don't have the room for it, I mean, you could still make it work. Like, I mean, depending on where you are, if you really want to do it, you can make it work. Like, it's not impossible to do it on the street, not the safest, but obviously you can always make something work. So yeah, I'd say like the space three, I'd say con three, I'd say comes with the space as well. Thankfully, we still had warm weather during the day, so it was fairly easy to like lay it, because the temperature definitely plays a role. Because once it did get colder outside, like it was like harder to lay. It kind of like formed quickly. It was hard to like stretch it. So we were like on a time crunch because now it's October. It's getting colder. So temperature was another thing. Trying to like get everything done before it got cold. But I'm happy with how it came out. Um, I'm happy with the imperfections. I was happy to learn something new and do it with a close friend of mine. Um, so yeah, if you're up for the challenge, I'd say do it, go for it, try it. It doesn't hurt. if you have the money for it. The only thing I would say, I guess, is another con is kind of making sure you measure everything correctly. You get the correct amount that you need for your car. Mine is a two-door like hatch, so it probably took a little less than like what a sedan would need, or like a SUV, truck, whatever car you may have. But definitely make sure you kind of cut the pieces you need accordingly. Measure. Shout out Jeff because he measured everything, and if it wasn't for him, I probably would have just cut right through everything. But yeah, he measured, so that was a big thing because we were able to use the whole row, and I still have some extra. So if I want to fix one of my imperfections, I can. As far as the hardest part of rapping was probably the bumpers. The bumpers were so intimidating. We left them for last, and I'd say it took at least like 6 hours per bumper to do, with like all these curves, um, like getting it here, stretching it across here to the back, and it was it was painful. It was like so time consuming, so tedious, making sure I had enough wrap. But the bumpers were definitely the most time consuming and difficult part of it. So like if you are rapping, I mean it could be different for everyone else, but the bumpers were definitely my toughest part of the whole car. So I'd leave it for last unless you want to, tackle the hardest part. But I'd say if it's your first time, I'd leave it for last. That way you can get a feel of everything else. That way when you do get to the bumpers, you're like, okay, like I kind of know what I'm doing now. It's gonna be tough, but should make it a lot easier to do. But the bumpers, yo, that made me want to like leave the bumpers black. But we got it. Um, but yeah, I mean, from here, I can kind of show exactly where we messed up, where it could have looked a little better. Um, yeah, I'll get some clips showing the entire car because from a distance, it looks spot on. It looks perfect, but that's why I tell people, don't get too close because you're gonna see all the where we messed up. But it's part of it. Like if it's your first time and you're just trying to learn, so I'm happy with it. I'll show y'all exactly where I messed up and throw some video of where it does look good. So yeah, as far as imperfections, um, front doesn't look too bad. Like maybe right here, but you got to get really close to see that. Um, I didn't prep or anything, so like the bumper paint was cracking. So there's that. Again, if you like look really close, so it really doesn't look that bad. The front, yeah, I'm not mad at the front. Hood also was something that was pretty easy. Again, rock chips and things like that. I didn't sand this down. So if you're looking for a little better, cleaner lay and finish, I would sand down if your paint isn't the greatest. But that's not really bad. The rear bumper is probably the worst part. Um, Again, if you look kind of close, so the plate, oh my god, that looks so bad now looking at it. The plate is one piece of its own, which I want to redo so bad, which I have extra, so I can redo it. But it was getting cold. Um, I was getting frustrated. I think pretty sure Jeff was probably getting frustrated too. But yeah, that plate looks bad. Looks really bad. So that was imperfection there. The trunk gave us some issues where it wasn't stretching how we needed it to. So we kind of had to do like some knifeless tape there and this side too to kind of make it look even. So that's that. Um, those are the two main things I'd say was like the hardest part. The wing also was a little bit of a task because we had to do a piece here, a piece on this side, over and under. So you'll see like little lines like that. This side is kind of coming off a little bit. Um, so wing was another task, and again, it's not perfect. Like here, you'll see that. I mean, probably tuck that in a little bit more, but it's probably just stretching where it's like that wasn't there before, but now that it's kind of laying and stretching itself, and you know, getting a feel of the cards, doing its job, where we could have done a little bit better, but again, I'm not mad at how it turned out. But my main concern with the sun fade was it not being invisible, and I feel like that kind of did it. Like the wrap, you can't see it from a distance. If you get really close, you'll see it, but you can't see it. So that's all that mattered to me. Um, had some weird like paint peel on this door here, so it kind of has like this weird pattern to it from the paint peel. Um, and again, I didn't prep it, I didn't sand it, so it's gonna have that under the wrap. Um, but yeah, sun fade. If you have sun fade, I'd recommend if you want a cleaner look to make sure you sand it and try to get it to look and lay and finish as perfect as you want it to be. So as bad as you want it to be perfect is as bad as the work you're gonna want to have to put in for it to look as perfect as possible. So yeah, not really too many imperfections. I mean, there's little things like that, kind of scattered around, but for the most part, I'm happy with it. And from here, I'll just throw some B-roll in, get a good, view of the car from every angle. But yeah, so kind of just wanted to make a video, give an update on the car, and let y'all know what's going on. Um, I kind of want to try to make some more content on YouTube. It's just hard. I don't really have parts to throw on. Yeah, I'm working on my TL. It's currently not running, so as soon as I get back on that, get it running, maybe I'll buy some new parts. I definitely got a lot that I want to do to this. So just stay tuned. If you want to get your own wrap from Ravuni, check them out. They got good stuff. Discount code is DC5CG. Get 12% off. Follow the IG, TikTok. I have that popped up somewhere here as well. So yeah, just check it out if you care enough to keep up with the build. See what else is coming. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. If y'all got any tips, throw them in the comments. Share your experience wrapping your car. Like I'm always down to hear everything from anyone. So yeah, let me know. Comment, like, subscribe if you care enough. I appreciate it.